I let these girls sit in the water for like 10-15 minutes and then drink it. The past 2 months, I've been drinking raspberry leaf tea. There are several studies that have been done that say that raspberry tea helps with your menstrual cramps, and it also minimizes your hormonal imbalance. I've been dealing with like the worst period cramps since the beginning. It wasn't until maybe last year I started getting into trying to figure out, okay, what is working for me, what's not working for me, what do I need to be putting in my body, what do I not need to be putting in my body. Just taking the time to learn myself, and that is so important, you know, because this is what my channel is all about. It's all about figuring out what's good for your body and learning your body and just loving yourself. So just a little bit of background information. So on my periods, I have the worst cramps on the first day. I can't eat anything. I'm throwing up, but most of the time I'm throwing up nothing. It's just liquid and the acid reflux. I can't have any tight clothing on me. I have to wear very loose clothing. I'm sorry, I just flashed out. I have to wear very loose clothing. If all I have to do is drink some tea to help with my cramps, I'm all for that. Like, where's the tea? What tea do I need to drink? But yeah, my periods have always been the worst. And it's always just the first day. It normally lasts around 7 days. That's typically how long my periods run for. This is the last pack that I was using, but yeah, it's called Raspberry Zinger Herbal Tea, caffeine free, and it's by Celestial Seasonings. And this is what these girls look like. You just cut it in half and heat up your little water and stick this girl in there. Let it steep. Don't just be drinking your tea as soon as you just throw the bag in. You gotta let it sit and like marinate. You know what I'm saying? Like your chicken, you can't just throw some seasoning on it and then expect it to be like this immaculate flavor. And nah, let these girls sit in the water for like 10-15 minutes and then drink it. I don't want to say 2 months because I haven't been like drinking this every single day, but for the past 2 period cycles I've been drinking this raspberry tea. And during that time I took notes before I was going on my period. At that time during the month, I didn't know when my period was gonna start just because I was hanging out with my aunt. And as a female, like, you already know, if you hang around somebody, well, a female, for a long time, you end up syncing periods. I don't know what that's about. It's the weirdest thing. But I was around my aunt for a little bit during that month, and then I ended up syncing up with her period. I do know, like, writing down, taking the notes, that it was 3 days before my period that I was drinking this tea, and I would drink it twice a day. So I would drink it around noon, and then I would always have the tea with my dinner. There really wasn't any like cramps going on, which was weird for me because my period normally starts early in the morning. But that morning I woke up and I was completely fine. I just had like really low energy, and I was actually going to record a video that day and ended up getting to the video, but then when I went to go use the bathroom, that's when I realized I did kind of have like a little heavy flow, and that kind of shocked me a little bit just because I'm used to like the cramps, knowing that I'm on my period, but I didn't have crazy cramps. And so for that first cycle, I ended up telling myself that first day, like,
okay, so since like I'm not experiencing really like any bad cramps and I'm on my period, let me just heat up some tea.
So I heated up some tea, and y'all, that was like such a bad move. I was sick to my stomach. Like I couldn't keep anything down. Like I was drinking tea and then I was eating like crackers, and after that I had to throw up, and then I had the worst cramps, and it was worse than it normally was, and it was like my back was just going through it. It ended up being that my period still lasted 7 days. I drank the raspberry tea a week before this time, because now I was knowing like, okay, I'm not near any females at this time, so I should know like my period is gonna come within these couple of days. So I drank the raspberry tea a week before this time, and I was drinking it twice a day. When it came to that day when I was on my period, I just had mild cramps. Wasn't anything too serious. Again, it was my back, and then also like my lower pelvic area was cramping pretty bad again. So one thing that I do notice with my period is a week before, I will have acne breakouts on this side of my face. This time, those 2 times that I did the raspberry tea for my 2 cycles, I did not have any acne breakouts. And also I noticed too, every time that my period comes, I'll get a little bit of facial hairs growing in. And the past 2 times that I've drank this raspberry tea, I haven't had the acne breakouts, and I haven't had like the facial hair growing in. That is definitely a plus. So when it says it minimizes the hormonal imbalance, it definitely for me worked more with the hormonal imbalance and not really with the period cramps. I'm going to try to do it maybe up until like the 6th cycle or like 6 months, and I'm still learning all this stuff, you know, and once I fully grasp it, I definitely will try to share with y'all more of like an understanding of your period, and then just like getting y'all more aware of like what is it that you need to do for your body to help with your period. So I'm gonna stick with this for 4 more cycles. If you're interested in trying to learn about hormonal imbalance, give this raspberry tea a try. For sure helped me up to my period, but with the cramps and everything, it just wasn't helping in that department. I hope this was like a very informative video for anyone who's experiencing like those really bad cramps, and give this a try. See how it works. Don't just try it one time and think like, okay, it's not working for me, and then stop. You kind of got to be consistent with this. So if you're going to do this, make sure you're consistent with it. And like I said, we'll be giving y'all like a final update in a couple months. Just wanted to give y'all an update for right now. I hope you liked this video, and subscribe to the channel so you can get more updates about this. And I will see y'all in the next video.